Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up. It's right around the corner. Cozy Earth, you can currently get 41% off just by using our code at checkout. That offer disappears February 28th.
So take advantage of our 41% discount while it lasts, because after that, 21% isn't as good.
No, it's not as good, is it? You can find the Cozy Earth link in the show notes. Make sure you take advantage of our code before February 28th to get 41% off. InfoGo. Find the link in the show notes. Welcome to the podcast. I'm William.
And I'm Kat,
And that makes this Info on the Go.
feeding your curiosity with every show.
I love that. Kat, to be honest with you, the first time I heard the name pickleball, I really thought it was a joke. And honestly, I thought it involved something with a fork and maybe a jar.
I pictured like trying to hacky sack a pickle.
Turning the pickle into the ball. Okay, yeah, I can see that. That's kind of funny too.
Yeah. But I think the real irony of pickleball really started because kids were bored. And today it's boring to kids because their parents won't leave the court.
Yeah, yeah, they really won't. Tennis has traditions, but pickleball, it just has vibes.
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 Just vibe, guys. Uh, anyway, pickleball is the only sport where the name sounds made up, and yet your parents, your neighbors, and your doctor are all playing it.
Mm. You know, I, I think we could go on all day being punny here, but this subject is real. Whether it's a fad or here to stay, today's episode is going to be about pickleball, the game everybody's playing.
Yeah, it sounds like a joke, but don't be fooled. This little game with a funny name is taking over America faster than any other sport in decades.
So, how did this sport with a funny name take over? Well, in retirement communities, pickleball first exploded among seniors. Well, because of its low impact play and social nature. In Florida alone, dozens of retirement communities now boast multiple courts and weekly leagues.
Parks and recreation centers also played a part in this too. Local parks, schools, and even YMCAs across the country are adding portable nets and permanent courts to keep up with demand. And even some municipalities report wait lists of over 200 people just to get on a court.
And today the sport has pro leagues, national championships, and even ESPN covers pickleball on national television. You have celebrities and investors from NBA stars like LeBron James to actors and tech entrepreneurs. Celebrities, well, they're all playing and promoting and investing in pickleball clubs, which is helping to fuel the rapid growth.
So, you don't need fancy gear or elite athleticism to start. All you need is a paddle, a ball, and a small court. That's it. And it's multi-generational, so grandparents can play with grandkids, neighbors can challenge each other, and friends of all ages can rally together. It's easy to learn, kind of hard to master, but beginners can pick up the basics in minutes, but advanced players can spend years honing strategy placement and the dink game.
Wow, the dink game.
Hmm.
I think we'll get into that a little bit later, right?
I think so.
Okay. So I guess really what we're going to try to do in this episode, we're going to try to find out where it came from and the accidental invention that turned boredom into a nationwide phenomenon. And then how did it spread so fast? How communities, schools, and even COVID lockdowns really helped to fuel the boom behind pickleball. Then we'll kind of ease into how to play it. We'll try to make it clear and simple from serving to scooping. And we'll tell you about that notorious kitchen. We'll make the rules a little bit easier to follow. Then we'll kind of wrap up with why it's reshaping American recreation. Because pickleball is more than a sport, it's a social, cultural, and economic movement that's changing how Americans stay active and connect with each other.
So let's dive into how it started. It started in Bainbridge Island, Washington in 1965. On a quiet summer day, just across the Puget Sound from Seattle, three dads, Joel Pritchard and U.S. Congressman Bill Bell, and successful businessman Barney McCallum, a friend and a fellow father, were looking for something to keep their kids entertained. Well, the kids were bored. Badminton was supposed to be the answer, but the full set was missing. So these inventive dads improvised. And in that moment, what began as a simple backyard solution would grow into America's fastest growing sport.
Have you ever done that though? Pulled out some kind of game and like half the stuff is gone?
Yeah, when I was younger, especially because we went to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before, and my brother would be like, "Oh yeah, we needed this for that or this for that," and it's like, well, this is really no good anymore. That first game, they scavenged whatever they could. They used an old ping pong paddles, which became makeshift rackets, plastic balls with holes, which were similar to wiffle balls. Well, they served as the first pickleball. And then a badminton court was adopted with the net lowered to about 36 inches at the center. Well, the kids and their parents started playing. Fun, fast, surprisingly competitive. And the game quickly proved itself. Easy enough for kids, but engaging enough for adults as well.
So, where did the name come from? Well, the name pickleball has two competing origin stories. You have story one, which is the pickle boat theory, where Joel Pritchard's wife, Joan, said the game reminded her of a pickle boat, in a rowing term for leftover rowers from other boats. Essentially, the game was made from leftover equipment and ideas. Theory two was Pickles the dog. Legend has it that the family dog Pickles would chase the stray balls and hide them in the bushes. Historians lean toward the pickle boat story as the real inspiration, but the dog story is undeniably charming and makes a great anecdote for listeners.
Yeah, I kind of like the pickle boat story too. I think that is the most grounded one for me as well.
Same.
So the game designed for inclusion, right? So from the very first start of pickleball, it was built to be family friendly. Kids, parents, and grandparents could all play together. The low barrier to enter, you know, there was no expensive gear, minimum court size. Well, and then it was fun over competition. While winning was and is enjoyable, the focus still remains on the focus was on shared play and laughter. So that philosophy, accessibility, social connection, and fun remains the heart of pickleball today. And it's exactly why the sport appeals to millions across generations. I would agree with that because there's a lot of sports that aggressive play really kind of takes away from that all inclusive and really kind of focuses on winning, right?
Right. You know, how did it grow beyond the backyard? The early rules and first courts. So by the 1970s, pickleball had moved beyond backyard experiments. People were playing in driveways, garages, and local parks, but it quickly became clear that if the sport was going to grow, it needed rules and structure. So standardization begins. Players started codifying the rules on how high the net should be, how many points make a game, and which side serves first. Dedicated courts started to appear, where communities began building permanent courts specifically for pickleball, often by modifying existing tennis or badminton courts. Barney McCallum, one of the original dads, wrote the first official pickleball rulebook. This was a turning point. Suddenly, anyone could play the same game, anywhere in the country.
Pickleball, well, it became organized. And that next big milestone came in 1984. And this was the birth of the USA Pickleball Association, the USAPA. Try to say that all at one time. The
USACA.
the USAPA on ESPN, followed by the NBA.
Right.
Well, the organization gave structure to tournaments, established national.
National.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So organization. So the organization gave structure to tournaments, established national rankings, and began promoting the sport. Pickleball spread quietly but steadily, through community centers and gyms because portable nets made it easy to play indoors or outdoors. Then you had YMCAs and schools where PE teachers, well, they loved it because it was low impact, safe, and easy to teach. Then you had retirement communities where seniors found it perfect for exercise, socializing, and a little bit of friendly competition as well. And, the sport was still low pack, so seniors could enjoy it.
Pickleball's early adopters weren't young athletes at all. They were retirees, and there's a reason. There's less impact than tennis, and the smaller court, the slower pace meant less stress on knees, hips, and shoulders. And of course, the smaller court size. A 20 by 44-foot court was easy to manage, even for older players. Emphasis on placement over power. You could win with strategy, precision, and clever shots rather than raw strength. And then games often included breaks for conversation, laughter, and even coffee afterward. So for seniors, pickleball was exercise, entertainment, and community all rolled into one.
I love the fact that it includes breaks.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, and the slow burn. Despite these advantages, pickleball remained quietly popular for decades, mostly regional and niche, while Washington, Oregon, and parts of the Midwest saw growing communities. Most of the US had never heard of it. And then word of mouth is how it started to grow. Players shaped the game with friends and neighbors, but there was no viral explosion. Well, not yet. So this slow burn, well, this laid the foundation. And by the 2000s, pickleball was ready to explode. And that's exactly what happened.
And so by the early 20,000s, really? And so by the early 2000s, pickleball was no longer just a retirement community pastime. It was spreading across schools, parks, and towns nationwide. School PE programs like physical education teachers discovered that pickleball was perfect for kids. Small courts, easy rules, and a game that could be learned in minutes. Some schools began including pickleball in regular PE rotations. And then, of course, suddenly any gym and parking lot or tennis court could be converted into a pickleball arena with a simple foldable net. Municipalities embraced multi use courts, allowing tennis and pickleball to coexist, which helped introduce the sport to new players. The game was quietly gaining momentum and setting the stage for a massive surge.
Yeah, I mean, here where I live, they converted some of the old ball fields into pickleball courts.
Wow.
There used to be lines of people over there. I don't really know. I don't go that way much anymore, but anyway, so the COVID era, well, in 2020, the pandemic changed everything. Pickleball became a perfect fit for a socially distanced world. It was easy to play outdoors. Players could meet in parks and driveways while keeping distance. The low impact, well, the game naturally limited close physical contact, making it safer than basketball or soccer. Because back then it was all about staying 6 feet apart.
Right.
Um, and then you had new players by the millions. And according to the Sports and Fitness Industry Association, pickleball added nearly 4 million new players in just 1 year, a growth rate faster than any sport in recent history. Dang, 4 million players in a year?
Right.
I guess honestly and truly, that really gave rise to pickleball because it wasn't just popular, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, you saw memes about pickleball, and I had to look it up to see what pickleball actually was because, like I said, I really did think it was some kind of crazy sport that somebody just made up and it was a joke.
Right. You know, the sports rise wasn't limited to casual play. Professional leagues and tournaments began forming, and ESPN started covering national competitions. And then, of course, celebrity involvement. Stars from multiple industries jumped in, athletes from the NBA and the NFL. Players found it fun, competitive, and a great way to stay active off season. Actors and entertainers had pickleball themed events and charity tournaments, which drew media attention. And entrepreneurs and investors, many opened clubs or invested in equipment companies, fueling both hype and infrastructure. Pickleball had gone from backyard novelty to mainstream phenomenon.
Yeah, I remember some of you still see some of the actors and entertainers that have pickleball tournaments for different charities, and I think that's amazing.
Right.
and then that cultural flashpoint where popularity came friction. The sport's rapid expansion sparked debates and even local conflicts. You had noise complaints, and those signature plastic balls that you would hit with those paddles, especially on closely spaced courts, well, they can be surprisingly loud, leading to complaints in some neighborhoods. I, I don't know. I don't think it would be that loud.
I think if you were in like an alleyway and echoing off like the sides of buildings or some walls or something, it could be pretty
Yeah,
loud, pretty
maybe.
obnoxious.
But if you have a tennis court, I mean, have you ever heard it? I mean, it can't be any louder than a tennis ball.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if they have like a makeshift court in an alley or something.
Okay, maybe. And then tennis versus pickleball court battles. In some towns, tennis players fought city councils to prevent their courts from being converted to pickleball. Um, and I can see that. I know here there was a struggle around some of the baseball diamonds in the pickleball courts, but and then you have that one question everybody wanted to know during this time: is it a real sport? Traditionalists, well, they question whether pickleball, with its smaller court and fun, focused culture, counted as a serious sport. But the rising pro leagues and intense competition will quickly prove the naysayers wrong. From quiet beginnings to massive growth, pickleball had officially crossed over into American culture, proving it was more than just a backyard game. It was a social, athletic, and cultural phenomenon.
So we're going to explain the court equipment and the basics. If you've ever played badminton, you're already halfway to understanding a pickleball court. So let's break it down. A pickleball court measures 20 feet wide by 44 feet long, the same as a doubles badminton court, so much smaller than a tennis court. That makes it easier to cover the space and keeps rallies fast paced. The net stands 36 inches at the sidelines and 34 inches in the middle, slightly lower than a tennis net. The court layout is the same for both, but doubles play dominates the sport, making teamwork, positioning, and communication critical. So we can visualize it as a cozy, high energy battlefield where strategy matters more than sheer athleticism.
Yeah, I think the size of it being smaller than a tennis court, like I've played tennis before, it is hard to navigate that court when you're just playing singles. But even if you're playing doubles, that court is hard to navigate through.
It's big.
Yeah, there's a lot of running back and forth, that's for sure.
hmm I'm not built for cardio like that.
Um, Not unless you really work at it. I mean, I wasn't back in the day. My wife used to beat me down on a tennis court. Uh, and I apologize, everybody. I have some kind of throat thing going on, so I know I sound a little different than I normally do, but I'm gonna do the equipment breakdown. So you don't need much to start, but the right gear makes the game more fun. So a paddle, you know, wood versus composite. Early paddles were wooden, but most modern composite paddles are lighter and easier to swing. I would agree with that. Then you have the shape and grip. You have the standard paddle sizes, which fit most hands, but some players prefer that elongated or wider shape to reach for reach and power, and maybe your hand size too, because I think I would like the elongated paddle
Right.
versus the wider one. And then you have the ball, indoor versus outdoor. Indoor balls are lighter, softer, and have smaller holes. Outdoor balls are heavier and more durable to make it easier to handle the wind. The holes really reduce speed and add unpredictability, making rallies longer and more strategic. Oh wow. I never really thought of it like that. That ball could go anywhere. Like even
Right.
I guess you would have to have some wicked spin to make it do what you wanted it to do or something.
Right.
And then you have the shoes and basic gear. Court shoes with non marking soles are ideal. Clothing is casual, comfortable, Anything that really allows freedom of movement, because pickleball isn't about being high tech uniforms. It's about just playing the game and socializing.
So let's get into the kitchen, the non volley zone. It's one of pickleball's most famous features and also one of the most misunderstood.
Hey,
So,
before we really get into the kitchen, take a break?
sounds good.
All right.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
William, I know how you love matcha tea with coconut milk.
Yeah, it's clean energy without a crash.
Then you'll love Mantra Matcha. They offer super premium ceremonial matcha and 6 superfood infused flavors made from the finest, youngest tea leaves for a naturally sweet, ultra smooth taste.
With each flavor, it's infused with powerful superfoods like cacao, ginger, and goji berries. And they also have those classic favorites like banana cacao, strawberry lemon, cinnamon goji berry, plus superfood berry, ginger beet, and rosehip dragon fruit. It's organic, non GMO, gluten free with 0 grams of sugar. You can enjoy it like me, or maybe hot or in a smoothie like Cat. Every purchase helps provide meals to kids through No Kid Hungry.
It's at mantramatcha.com. Get 15% off using our code INFOGO at checkout. Both links are in the show notes.
Hey, everybody, we want to tell you about strong coffee. Every morning it starts with a choice. You can settle for just coffee, or you can rise up with strong coffee. And it's the world's strongest cup of joe. Strong isn't just a drink, it's a movement. It stands for striving to reach our natural greatness.
It's born from one simple need: to be better. They rebuilt coffee from the ground up, infusing organic coffee with collagen, protein, nootropics, and functional ingredients that fuel your body and sharpen your mind. No crash, no compromises, just clean energy, focus, and flavor that fires you up.
Yeah, so whether you're chasing kids, chasing goals, or chasing greatness, don't just do it with coffee, do it with strong coffee. And our listeners can save 20% off just by using our code INFOGO at checkout. Hey, if you're looking for your favorite band or sports team or TV show, check out Old Glory. They've been in operation since 1969 and they have over 300,000 items. They have from the Beatles all the way to Metallica, NFL, NBA. It really doesn't matter what you're looking for. They have tees, hoodies, hats, gifts, everything a true fan could ever want. And it's family owned and operated. They have fast shipping, free standard delivery on every order. And you know what? Our listeners get a 15% off at checkout using our code INFOGO. You can find the link in the show notes.
So now that we're back, what is the kitchen? It's a 7 foot zone on either side of the net where players cannot hit the ball in the air or volley. And why does it exist? The rule prevents players from standing right at the net and smashing every shot, keeping the game safe, tactical, and fun. There are some common beginner mistakes where many new players step into the kitchen too early, swinging aggressively, only to fault instantly. And why does it defy strategy? Well, mastering the dink, which is a soft, precise shot just over the net, is key to winning. The kitchen forces patience, positioning, and clever placement, making pickleball more about brains than brawn.
So the dink is really just a soft, precise hit over the net, is what you're saying?
Yes.
All right.
Dink.
Dink. He's a master dinker.
So, in short, understanding the court, gear, and kitchen isn't just useful, it's essential for anyone who wants to enjoy pickleball and improve quickly.
So, how do you play pickleball? Well, first you have the serve, and this is where every pickleball match begins, and it's simple but strategic. You have underhanded only. Unlike tennis, pickleball serves um, must be underhand. This keeps the game accessible and prevents powerful smashes right from the start. Then you have a diagonal serve. The the ball must travel diagonally across the court, landing in the opposite serve box. This adds accuracy and tactical thinking. And then one chance per server. If you miss, the point goes to the other team. So focus on control, not power. And why this levels the playing field? Well, it's because most power servers aren't allowed. Beginners can hold their own against experienced players. The emphasis is on placement, spin, and consistency. Imagine gently flipping the ball across the net rather than swinging like you're power hitting in baseball. Precision beats power here.
And there's the two bounce rule. This rule is crucial for keeping rallies fair and fun. You have the serve bounce. So after the serve, the ball must bounce once on the receiver's side. And then the return bounce. The returning team must also let it bounce once before hitting it back. Why, you might ask? It prevents immediate net domination and gives both teams a fair chance to react. Mastering this rule helps beginners enjoy longer rallies and improve strategy.
And then you have rallying and scoring art. So once the ball is in play, here's how points and rallies work. Points are scored only by the serving team. Unlike tennis, you can't score on a return. This makes serving a key skill. Games go to 11 and you win by two. Every point counts, so close games often come down to patience and consistency and double scoring, which each player on the serving team gets a chance to serve before switching sides. So I'm going to try to explain that. Let's say Team A serves, loses a point. The next player on Team A serves. When both players lose a serve, the other team gets the balls. So the key here is to keep track carefully. Mistakes in scoring are common, but they're easily corrected.
Many new players make the same mistakes, but don't worry, they're easy to fix. So, stepping into the kitchen too early. You can't volley in this zone. Patience wins points. Trying to smash everything. Pickleball is a game of placement, and so powerful swings often end in faults.
I like how you said that, trying to smash everything like they do in tennis and or volleyball even.
Mm-hmm.
Try to just pop it over the net.
Right. And standing too far back. So you'll lose out on easy volleys and control. Move closer, stay balanced, and be ready for the dink.
Be the dinker.
Right. Bottom line here, pickleball is easy to start, but mastering it takes strategy, patience, and awareness. Once you understand the serve, the two bounce rule, scoring, and common mistakes, you're ready to enjoy the game and start winning points.
So here we go with strategy, skill, and how pickleball is addictive. First, you have the dink game. If there's one skill that separates beginners from experienced players, it's the dink, which is a soft, careful play shot just over the net. Soft shots over power, because in pickleball, placement beats brute force. So a perfectly executed dink can win a point while a smash hit might sail out of bounds. Then you have patience over placement. Successful players treat the game like a chess match. You move the ball, test your opponents, and wait for the perfect opportunity to attack. It's chess, not checkers. While fast reflexes help, strategy and thinking several shots ahead, well, they often matter more than athleticism. So think small, think clever, and let your paddle do the talking. Dinks are where the game gets, it's where the fun happens.
Pickleball doubles isn't just about hitting the ball, it's about teamwork. Doubles dominance. Most competitive pickleball is played in doubles, so understanding your partner's tendencies is key here. Reading your partner. So anticipate where they'll move, who will take the shot, and how to cover the court efficiently. And anticipation over speed. Great doubles teams win by positioning, communication, and foresight, not just sprinting around the court. A well coordinated pair can control the game even against physically stronger opponents.
One of pickleball's most remarkable features is people decades apart in age, well, they can compete on equal footing. 20-year-olds versus 70-year-olds. Well, skill, strategy, and consistency can outweigh sheer power or speed. And then, experienced players know angles, dinks, and court positioning so well they can challenge or even beat much younger opponents. So the mix of accessibility, technical depth, and social fun is exactly why players keep coming back to pickleball. Well, it's addictive because each game is a new puzzle, each rally a chance to outsmart your opponent, and each match a test of patience, teamwork, and creativity.
It even has Olympic potential. Could pickleball one day be an Olympic sport? The idea isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. It would just need standardized international rules, a governing body recognized by the International Olympic Committee, and widespread competitive play across multiple countries. Pickleball is spreading beyond the US, Canada, India, and parts of Europe have growing communities as well. So, tournaments and even professional players. If this trend continues, the sport could gain the global footprint required for Olympic consideration. Imagine watching the first Olympic pickleball match, where strategy, precision, and intense rallies broadcast to millions worldwide. It could happen in our lifetime.
Could you imagine flipping on, I don't know, whatever channel you want to watch your Olympic sports on, and you see an Olympic sport where, and I'm a senior, okay? I just want to be clear about this. Where you flip that on and you don't see like young, fit athletes. You see your grandma, your grandpa out there playing.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
I'm going for Team Silver.
So, are you going to go?
Team Silver, silver hair.
Yeah, yeah. Are you going to play? You going to go?
You trying to be fun? You know what? I'm not that old yet.
You said you were a senior, so.
Well, in about 3 more years.
Hmm.
Anyway, I may edit that out. Who knows? But you have infrastructure challenges. Even in the US, rapid growth is testing the sport's infrastructure. Court shortages, parks and rec centers. Well, they struggle to keep up with demand. In some cities, players wait weeks just to reserve a court. Then you have those noise debates. The distinctive pop of the pickleball hitting a paddle has sparked complaints in quiet neighborhoods, sometimes leading to restrictions on new courts. Then, that urban versus rural adaptation. While suburban and rural areas can add courts easily, well, dense cities face space challenges, creating unequal access to the game. So, addressing these issues will determine how sustainable pickleball is, will be, and how it will grow nationwide.
So, is pickleball just a fad or is it here to stay? Well, racquetball exploded in the 1970s, but then faded. And tennis has had a century long boom, surviving trends and shifts in culture. So, pickleball's combination of accessibility, social appeal, and competitive depth suggests it has staying power. People of all ages can play, communities embrace it, and professional leagues continue to grow. In short, pickleball isn't just the sport of the moment. It could be a fixture of American recreation for decades, with the potential to influence how families, schools, and communities stay active and connected.
Have you ever played racquetball?
Um, I don't think so.
I played with a friend of mine, and that is no joke. He was really good at it, by the way. I was more like John Candy in racquetball than I was anything else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I was bad at it, but that ball, you get hit with that ball, it freaking hurts.
I bet.
Um,
Oh,
but
I'm so sad he's not going to be in Spaceball too.
yeah, me
Spaceballs
too.
too.
And I can't wait till that comes out.
I know, right? I'm so excited.
I just saw they're gonna redo He-Man.
What?
Yeah, you're into that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna redo it. The '80s version really didn't do good, in my opinion. Um, But yeah, Spaceballs too. I can't wait for that one.
I'm
That one's
stoked. I can't wait.
same. So as we wrap up here, we really kind of wanted to deep dive into why pickleball works. Well, it was a sport born from improvising, a simple idea that started with bored kids, ping pong paddles, and plastic balls with holes. What began as a backyard pastime has evolved into a game that's social, accessible, and surprisingly competitive. It's a sport designed for fun, not ego. So anyone can pick up a paddle and go play, whether you're 7 or 70, a casual weekend player or a future pro. Pickleball really comes down to connection, strategy, and a little healthy competition because you need a little healthy competition.
Right. And if you haven't tried it yet, here's the challenge. Try it once. Don't overthink it. Borrow a paddle. You don't need fancy gear to start. Play with family or friends. The best memories happen when everyone is laughing, rallying, and learning together. So, not bad for a game invented to cure summer boredom. Yet, here it is, taking over parks, gyms, and communities across the country.
Hey, and as we like to do things here on Info on the Go, we're going to break it down and give you a cheat sheet for beginners. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, I'll start with the court. The court is 20 by 44 feet long, same as doubles in badminton, but smaller than tennis. The net height is 36 inches at the sidelines, dips to 34 inches at the center. Singles and doubles, well, the court layout is exactly the same. Doubles, however, the emphasis is on teamwork. The kitchen, this is the non volley zone, and this is a 7 foot zone on either side of the net. No volleys are allowed here.
And equipment a paddle. Wooden, it's heavier or composite. It's lighter and easier to swing. Grip should feel comfortable. Ball, indoor, lighter, smaller holes, softer bounce. Outdoor, you want heavier, larger holes and durable for wind. Shoes, court shoes with non marking soles. And it's optional, so comfortable clothes that allow free movement.
And then the basic rules, serving is underhanded only. Serve diagonally into opposite serve box, one attempt per person. Then you got to remember that two bounce rule. The ball must bounce once on each side before volleys are allowed. And then the scoring, only the serving team scores points. So games go to 11 points and you win by two. In doubles, each player on the team serves before the other team serves.
And don't forget, don't step into the kitchen too early. Don't try to smash every ball and don't stand too far back from the net.
The dink game, that soft, precise shot, use that over power. Patience is key in pickleball. You know, aim for open spaces, corners, or just past the kitchen line. And then, team communication is always going to be extremely important, especially in doubles. Anticipate your partner's moves and cover the court together. It's going to be kind of like tennis.
And some quick etiquette for you. Wait for your opponent to be ready before serving. Call your own faults honestly. And keep rallies moving, but take breaks if needed.
And anyone can play, young or old, beginner or athlete. Focus on fun, connection, and small victories. But remember, pickleball is easy to learn, but fun to master.
So, William, what do you think about pickleball?
Um, I kind of have a better understanding of it now. It just seems like it's ping pong, but standing up without a table.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly and truly, I mean, it sounds like it's got a lot of different sports involved in it because you got the volley like volleyball.
right.
You got the court that kind of sounds like tennis. And then you got the wooden paddles, which kind of sound like ping pong. So I don't know. I think I would love to try it. I think I would.
Me too.
You
I
know
haven't
that,
tried pickleball yet either. I think
yeah,
it sounds like fun.
there's tons of courts here by my house, and maybe I'll just go out and watch a game and see what it looks like.
Right.
I know
You know,
that. Go ahead.
you go ahead.
No, you do it.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it might be fun to just go watch some people play.
I think so too. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. That's for sure.
Maybe I can find it on ESPN.
I'll try YouTube first.
Uh, yeah, I'm almost certain you can find it on YouTube.
For sure.
You can find anything on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Maybe even info on the go.
Yes. That's all I got though.
Yeah, me too. If you would like to support this podcast, tell a friend and help get the word out.
If you'd like to help us keep the show going, you can do so at Patreon. The link is in the show notes.
And as always, Kat and I want to thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you. Whether you're new here or been with us for a while,
Join the Facebook group at Info on the Go,
share with us your show ideas.
or simply ask us a question.
Follow us wherever you get your podcast.
You can also send us a text using the link in the show notes or leave a review.
It helps others find us. You can also email us at
Info on the Go at podcast. Info, yeah, Info on the Go podcast at gmail.com.
and yes, that is all one word. Till next time.
Stay curious.